In my last video, I talked about why I'm seriously considering spending more time in Southeast Asia. Now I've got to answer the next question. Where do I actually start? The Philippines, Thailand, or Vietnam? All three have things that interest me, but I'm not looking at this like a normal vacation. I want to know what it would actually be like to spend weeks or even months there. So I'm going to compare the cost of living, housing, food, healthcare, transportation, weather, and everyday life in all three. And by the end, I want to see which one makes the most sense for me to visit first. The reason I keep coming back to these three countries is because each one seems to offer something different. The Philippines feels familiar to me because I spent time there years ago and English is widely spoken. Thailand seems to offer a really good mix of city life, beaches, healthcare, and modern conveniences. And Vietnam interests me because it looks affordable, energetic, and completely different from what I'm used to. So instead of just asking which country is cheapest, I want to look at which one might actually fit my lifestyle the best. When it comes to cost of living, all three countries have the potential to be cheaper than what I'm used to in the United States. Vietnam may come out ahead on pure affordability, especially for food, transportation, and everyday expenses. Thailand seems like a strong middle ground, still affordable, but with a lot of modern convenience and good healthcare options. The Philippines can also be affordable, but prices seem to vary more depending on where you stay and how you want to live. For me, this isn't just about finding the cheapest place. It's about finding the best balance between cost, comfort, healthcare, and quality of life. When I break the cost down a little further, Vietnam still looks like the strongest option for keeping everyday expenses low. Housing, food, and transportation can all be very affordable there. Thailand may cost a little more in some areas, but it seems to offer a strong balance between affordability, convenience, and healthcare. The Philippines is a little harder to judge because the cost can change a lot depending on the city, the neighborhood, and the kind of lifestyle you want. So for me, the cheapest country doesn't automatically win. I'm looking for the place where my money goes farther without giving up the things that would make everyday life comfortable. Now the question becomes where I would actually stay first. In the Philippines, places like Cebu, Davao, and Manila all offer something different. Cebu gives me a mix of city life and beaches. Davao looks more relaxed, and Manila has the biggest city conveniences. In Thailand, Bangkok gives me the full city experience. Chiang Mai looks calmer and more affordable, and Phuket gives me beaches with plenty of amenities. Vietnam has the same kind of variety. Ho Chi Minh City is fast-paced and modern. Hanoi has more history and culture, and Da Nang looks like a strong mix of beach life and city comfort. My plan wouldn't be to pick one city from a computer screen. I'd rather spend time in several of them, see what everyday life actually feels like, and then decide which place fits me best. When I look beyond just the cost, this is where the decision gets more personal. The Philippines has the advantage of feeling more familiar to me. English is widely spoken. The people are known for being welcoming, and there's no shortage of beaches and islands. Thailand looks like the strongest all-around option when it comes to healthcare, infrastructure, food, and having both city life and beach life. Vietnam may offer the lowest everyday costs, but it would probably also be the biggest adjustment for me because of the language and the fact that it would feel the least familiar. So this really comes down to what kind of life I want. Comfort and familiarity in the Philippines, balance and convenience in Thailand, or affordability and a completely new experience in Vietnam. That's exactly why I want to experience all three before making any real decision. Before I make any real decision, these are the questions I need to answer for myself. Do I feel comfortable there? Can I see myself living there for more than just a vacation? Is healthcare easy to access? Does my money go far enough? Do I feel safe? And does the lifestyle actually fit what I want? Those answers may be completely different in the Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam. That's why my plan is simple. Visit each country, stay in different cities, live as normally as I can, and pay attention to the things that matter in everyday life. I'm not trying to pick the cheapest place on a spreadsheet. I'm trying to find the place where I can actually see myself being happy.
After looking at all three, I don't think there's one perfect country. The Philippines has familiarity, English, beaches, and a culture that already feels a little more comfortable to me. Thailand may offer the best overall balance of modern conveniences, healthcare, food, and lifestyle. And Vietnam may give me the most value for the money, along with the biggest sense of something completely new. So for me, this isn't about declaring a winner from behind a computer. It's about figuring out which place gives me the best combination of safety, healthcare, affordability, comfort, and quality of life. That's going to take time. And I'm okay with that, because choosing where I might spend the next chapter of my life is something I want to get right. My plan is to experience these countries first and make the decision later. I don't want to fly in, stay at a resort for a week, and pretend I know what it would be like to live there. I want to spend several weeks in each country and stay in different cities. I want to shop for groceries, use local transportation, look at apartments, check out healthcare, test the internet, and see what everyday life actually feels like. Then I can compare the real costs, the comfort, the safety, the people, and the overall lifestyle. After each trip, I'll look at what I liked, what I didn't, and whether I could honestly see myself staying there longer. That way, when I finally make a decision, it'll be based on experience instead of just research. I'm not in a rush to make this decision. The whole point of this plan is to experience each country, evaluate what actually matters to me, and then decide. I want to spend several weeks in the Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam and live as normally as possible while I'm there. I'll look at housing, groceries, transportation, healthcare, internet, safety, and what it's like meeting people and building a routine. After each country, I'll compare the costs, the pros and cons, and how comfortable I actually felt. Then after I've experienced all three, I can make a decision based on real life instead of what looks good online. I'm not looking for a perfect country. I'm looking for the place that feels right for me. Now that I've narrowed down what I'm looking for, the next step is actually getting there and experiencing it for myself. I want to spend time in different cities in the Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam, stay in real neighborhoods, use local transportation, shop for groceries, and see what normal everyday life feels like. I also want to pay attention to the things that could really affect a long-term decision: healthcare, safety, internet, housing, the people, and the overall pace of life. I'll keep track of what I like, what I don't, and what each place actually costs me. Then after I've experienced all three, I can compare them based on what matters most to me. At that point, I should have a much better idea of where I could actually see myself spending more time in the future. The next step for me is simple: go, experience it, and learn. I don't want to make a decision this big based only on videos, articles, or what other people say. I want to spend real time in the Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam and see what each place actually feels like day to day. That means staying in normal neighborhoods, shopping where locals shop, using transportation, checking healthcare, testing the internet, meeting people, and tracking what everything really costs. After each trip, I want to sit down and be honest about what worked, what didn't, and whether I could actually see myself living there long term. Then once I've experienced all three, I can compare everything and make a decision based on real life. Because I'm not just looking for a cheaper place to live, I'm looking for a place that could actually feel like home. If you've spent time in the Philippines, Thailand, or Vietnam, I'd really like to hear which one you'd choose and why. I know research can only tell me so much, so the next step is actually getting there and experiencing these places for myself. And when I do, I'll bring you along for the whole journey. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you the next one.